Um, the discussion today is going to be about the progress of our business. Um, you know, the business now, as far as I can say myself, I would say that the business is slowly maturing and I'm seeing results. But the way we're coming from was full of storms. It was not easy for me to be able to come and to reach this point where now things are starting to show and getting better. When I started my business in the beginning, I started as I can say property developer, because I used to buy houses and flip them and sell them. I just came from South Africa in 2010, in December 2010, started my business in 2011 January, and I had bought a house, and then this house I renovated it and I sold it. Then after I sold it, I bought another one and I sold it, and I moved from Blantyre to come to Lirongo, which was a mistake because the business didn't do well in Lirongo. But at this time, I was asked by somebody to build their house with cement blocks. So yeah, because I had come from South Africa with a manual machine, which I bought there and started building this house. It was actually when I discovered that there was actually a market, because a lot of people were very, they were very negative about me building a house with cement blocks. So I had to answer a lot of questions, and eventually people started demanding cement blocks. So I started selling the cement block machines. But it was not easy. It was a struggle, because I had to sell the manual machine and sold one machine at a time. And every time I sold, because I had to make it more attractive, I was delivering for free. So I had to travel in the bus many times. I would leave in the morning to deliver a machine in Blantyre, and then give training there, and I'll get into a bus again, arrive home the next day, 3 o'clock in the morning, just after selling a machine for 75,000 kwacha. It was very, very, very tough. But I knew that I had to persevere, because there was going to be some fruits in the future. It kept on going on, because the first machine we started selling was in 2013. It kept on going on until 2015. In 2015, I started seeing that I was selling more of those machines. I would sell in a month maybe 10 machines sometimes when I'm lucky. And then I also saw that competition started coming in. Some of the guys that had worked for me, they were making the machine, the manual machine, and selling. And then I started seeing these machines all over. Whenever I travel anywhere, I see a welder, I'll see a welder selling a cement block machine. So I knew that the honeymoon for me was over. So I had to start thinking outside the box. So that's when I came to start thinking of making a mechanic machine. So the first mechanic machine was made around 2016, if I'm not mistaken. And we started, because I wasn't sure, I was selling this machine at a low price. We started the machine at 500,000 kwacha. And after a first customer bought the machine, and we had shared the information on Facebook that we have sold our first mechanic machine, we saw people putting up orders. I had orders of over 30 machines in one month. And I just I didn't know how to handle with it. And at the same time, I was asked by the landlord where I was staying that they wanted their house. So I had to move out of the house. And now the house which I was renting is where I was actually manufacturing these machines. So it was a tough decision to say, if I move from here and go somewhere to rent, the landlord might not allow me to be manufacturing machines there. And that will mean that I'll have to pay rent there, and I have to also look for another place to pay rent. So I had to make a decision. And then after thinking, I decided to come to my plot and camp in my plot and be making machine there. The challenge was that at my plot there was no electricity, so I had to think of a way of how can I be able to deal with the electricity problem. That's when I decided to do research on YouTube and found out that I can buy a diesel engine and buy an alternator, and I can put it together. I'll be able to generate electricity and be able to make machines. At that time, I had a diesel, but I had a generator, but it wasn't strong enough, which I bought from one of the shops in town. So when I built this generator, I saw that it was able to handle a lot of pressure. So I moved into my house. The house, in fact, before I moved in, I used some of the money that people had paid for these machines, the deposit, to just temporarily put a roof on my house and just build a temporary shelter. So we moved into this shelter. It was tough. It was a very difficult situation. Up to now, we're still living in the same conditions because, to be getting a chance to fix our house, it's not easy because now the first year when the rainy season came, we struggled a lot because our team couldn't work outside. They had to most of the times not work. So every time it rained, we were not working. So it affected our business because now we were getting a lot of orders, but we were failing to deliver because sometimes we couldn't work. It happened the second year, the same thing. And that's when I decided that I needed to build a workshop on the next plot that I had on the same plot, and so that we can be working. So that's where this workshop came. But just to build a workshop, it was also a very tough thing. But lucky enough, the Growth Accelerator, they brought in the competition in Malawi whereby they were going to identify 12 promising companies, small companies, which they were going to fund with $40,000. And this competition, they launched it, and I felt that I must jump on this opportunity. And I told my wife, I am going to win in this competition. I need to get that 40,000. I will do whatever I can to get it. So yes, we had to give business proposals of our business and for them to assess and see which companies. And like enough, my proposal was very attractive. I was invited for the interview. There was about 250 companies that applied for the competition. They shortlisted to 50. So I was one of the 50 companies. I was very excited. So we had to go now for a physical interview. I did my research, and normally when I go for interview, I prepare myself. I went reading my books, went researching on the internet. When I went for this interview, I was prepared. When I arrived there, I nailed the interview, and I was shortlisted to the top 20 companies. Imagine the whole of Malawi, 250 companies applying. I was in the top 20 companies. When we were going there, this time it was now a pitch. So it was now again me going again on YouTube, watching Shark Tank. So I watched a lot of Shark Tank videos to see how people would pitch their businesses to the investors. And by the time I was going for the pitch, I was very ready. I did very well. When I finished my pitch, I got a standing ovation, and I knew that I've nailed it. And I was told that I was one of the best pitchers in the group, and I was now taken in as one of the top 12 companies. And we started the program, and we were funded $40,000. Now, as a company, you had to choose what you were going to do with your $40,000. So first of all, I had to tackle this challenge of workshop. So some of the money I assigned it to build my workshop, and some of the money I wanted to have this workshop because I always have struggled with electricity. In Malawi, we have problems with electricity. I had to make my workshop because this money was a lot. It was my chance now to make sure that this money can help me to solve the issue of power. So I chose that I'm going to use buy solar for the workshop. Some of the money I was going to buy a lathe machine. Some of the money I was going to buy a pickup so that when I travel to buy my materials, I can use that money I can use the pickup to buy stock. So, but when we went to do this training, it was a very nice, intensive training, and I must thank Growth Accelerator for really doing this, giving us this opportunity, because besides the money, we had intensive training where we were trained how to run our business, how to solve challenges, how to close the gaps that we are facing in our business. And while I was doing this training, that's when I came up to say, okay, I need a workshop, I need a solar, I need a lathe machine, I need a pickup. But as we were going to the training to learning how to find out the challenges or the gaps that are there in our business, the bottlenecks, I discovered that the main problem that I was facing in my business was actually employee turnover I had so many employees that were leaving, and every time leaving. So every time they leave, it affected my business because I had to train new people all the time. Then the second thing was also the workshop, because we were working outside, and when it rains, we were not functioning, and all those problems, and also power, electricity. So I discovered that I didn't need at this moment a lathe machine. I didn't need at this moment a pickup, but I needed to actually sort these main problems which were actually affecting the growth of my business. So I decided to put a little bit of the money into building the workshop, and then the rest of the workshop I'm using my own money to finish. But the main amount of money I'm going to use solar, because it's going to cost me close to about 22 million kwacha. So out of the 40,000 US dollars, 22 million kwacha has been assigned to buy solar. And this solar is going to be about 20,000 kilowatts, which means I will be able to run at least 3 inverter welders, or 3 or 4 inverter welders at one time. And this means whenever we have, and this solar system, it's only covering solar panels and the inverters. It's not covering batteries. But the batteries, I'll be buying them in the future myself as we go along, so that I can be able to use the same solar even at night. But in the meantime, during the day, that's when we'll be using this solar when there's full sun, because we do get a lot of sunshine in Malawi. And during rainy seasons, I can be compensating that with my generator. But in the meantime, I'll be saving money to buy myself batteries that will be able to help us the solar will be charging the batteries, and we can be able to run the system even at night. Yeah, so that's what I did. So the reason why I'm sharing this is that I want to show some of our fellow Malawians and some of our fellow Africans that there are some sources of funds that you can use to your advantage, which can help you to grow your business. We do get these organizations outside there that are willing to assist up and coming businesses in Africa. One of these being Growth Accelerator, who are running this program. I think they're running it in Kenya, Malawi, and I understand they also run it in Zambia, and I'm sure they will be spreading all over Africa. So if you get opportunities like this where there's a potential for you to get funding to assist your business, please don't underestimate them, or don't ignore them. You must go and present your chance to get this opportunity. I wanted to use the word to take a chance. No, don't take chance, but go for it. Like for me, I never took chances. I was serious about it, and I knew this was an opportunity. I have to get it. Now, the workshop and with the solar is going to help my business in the sense that I'm going to save a lot of money. At the moment, I spend something like 6,000 kwacha a day on diesel to run my generator. So with the solar, I'm going to save a lot of money, because 6,000 kwacha, it comes to it's a lot of money that I've spent a year with my. It was over, when we calculated last time, I think it was over 3 million that I spent on energy alone. So with the solar system, I'm going to save more than, it could be about 2 million that I'll be saving. So it's a big help. And now on the side of the employees, the reason why I was suffering when I was getting a lot of turnover. Every business is going, more especially in Africa, you will have a lot of employee turnover, people leaving, because African people, when we work for another African, we want to also do the same thing that our employer or their boss is doing. So if our boss is manufacturing machines, we also want to go and start and manufacture machines. So every time you employ people, once they have learned how to do your job, they leave. So I had to find a way where I can say, okay, how do I manage to run my business, and even if an employee resigns? Like the big companies like ShopRite, Checkers, when the employees leave, the company doesn't shut down or doesn't have an impact when the employees leave. So I had to think of how to do that. The way I sorted this this problem, was to come up with a system. And so I came up with a system whereby I made it very easy to make my machine, very easy, so that I can just pick up anybody from the street They will come here, we just give them one day or 2 days training, they'll be able to make our machine. And the good thing is that when they use this system also, the person actually does not go into details of how the machine is made, because all the details are already done and they're put in the system. So even if I take somebody in the street, he comes and make a stunt or the mold or whatever, when they leave, they are not coming out with the knowledge. They might get the knowledge, but they're not going to come up with a way of doing it, because the system actually protects the idea. So in the future, when I make tractors and all those kind of things, and I'll now know that my idea is being protected. Because it's very difficult in Malawi to protect your ideas by actually going to patent your ideas and all those things. Even if you patent them, doesn't mean that people will never copy your machine. And if you say that you're going to fight a person in court, it will cost you a lot of money that it won't be worth it for you to do it. Yeah, so that's how I'm doing it. So as entrepreneurs, you should take advantage of all the opportunities that are there for funding. You should also take advantage of, you should also start thinking of easing the process of doing your business, so that if your employees leave you, you don't lose anything. Yeah, so I just wanted to share this because we do get a lot of people that are struggling with their business and they don't know what to do, how to deal with the challenges. And another thing also, people, we just see other people doing business, and sometimes the business is doing well, we don't know how they do it or where they come from. We don't know that the person has gone through a lot of hassles. Like for myself, I started in 2010, that's when I came back from South Africa. 2011, I started my business, and today is we are going into 2021, we're in 2020. So you can just see January this year is going to be 11 years since I came back from South Africa. It's going to be 10 years since I came back from South Africa and started my business. So yeah, if you have any topics that you would like me to share, please put them on the comment section. And if you are you are just joining me, it's the first time you are watching me, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video, and comment as well. For those who have been following me, I say thank you for always sitting down and watching my videos. And I know most of the people, you're commenting and you're enjoying when I share my experiences. And please don't forget to like the video and also to post a comment. Thank you.